drive home on Hot 103. Folks, looks like that storm is headed right for us. Gonna put some gas in my Furman generator, stop by the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and of course, watch Mike's weather page. Y'all stay safe out there. Tropics rage. You'll always have a friend here. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. And he'll keep you safe. He'll keep it locked. Mike's weather page. I've seen him chase storms there with Hunter and Louis too. But you know he'll keep you straight at 919 there every day. 1 million fans get me wrong and we're here in Mike's weather page.
All right, what's up? Good morning. It's Thursday here. Start of football. Who's excited about that? Go Bucks. Who are you rooting for out there if you like football? Some years I don't get excited about football. This year I am. And we won tickets to opening day here at Tampa, so that'll be in 2 weeks. I'm excited about that. So, my dad's a Dolphins fan, Pittsburgh fan. I'm going to get him set up on YouTube so he can watch 2 games at once. And the Rays are hot, man. They're 9-1. They're making a run at that wild card. Hey, Sailor Sean. Man, yeah. But we're talking tropics. And we got a lot to talk about. Believe it or not. There's a lot of... The only thing brewing out there, besides some good old Dunkin' that Julie brought me, Dunkin', is hype. And some say I hype. But I don't. But so we're going to go over it all, man. We got, I got Louie. Let's say hi to Louie. Did y'all see Longo on Fox Weather yesterday? It was awesome. Jamie's a Steelers fan over there. Lightning season 2, that's right. Oh, you are the OG. We got some Bills fans. We got some Bucks fans. Look, James, Bills and Bucks. I remember John Kelly and Marino back in those days. Remember that? Thank you, Jamie Les. Yeah, lots to talk about. Let's take our time. I talk about 30, 40 minutes. So, patience. Well, we're going to get into all the latest. There's nothing solid whatsoever in the tropics. No one knows where this thing is going to go. This thing. All we can do is watch models and look at history, look at trends, throw out the models that haven't been doing good, use a little gut, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. Let's see if my Facebook works now. For some reason, it opens up into the reel, and I have to wait a minute before I can start reading comments, which is fine. It looks like it's good to go here. There we go. I'm tape delayed. Cool. Facebook comments are popping in the scene here. All right. Falcons. Loretta Reed. Maddie. Yep. Our doggy. The OG. Lisa Clark. Good morning. Crystal River. We love Crystal River. That's where Longo was from. Thank you, Danielle, on my little interview yesterday. It was fun. I really appreciate it giving me the opportunity. Talk weather and dogs. Daddy Shark, I got it, man. I'm pretty big over on TikTok. A lot of... Shelly, you just got the gifter badge. What does that mean? Oh, we got another Jamie Crystal River. Cajun John up in Tallahassee. I love little St. Mark's, south of you. PBC, hello. Ricardo, why is it not an invest? Good question, but maybe it's because we don't really have a defined center. But, man, it looks like we've got one close and there's convection. So I would think soon. So I had a good text yesterday. Somebody asked me about invest. An invest is just an investigative area of tropics, area of interest, basically. Not AOL, AOI, area of interest. And when they peg something in invest, we get spaghetti models. Because now we have a true center of circulation. A guesstimate, but close enough. And also, hey, Perry. K-R-A-E. We love Perry. And they also start running those higher resolution models like H-Wharf, Haas, and HMON models, which we love. So, because they're good good data. Yeah, William, I'm dreading taking out my... Oh, it just formed 91. Thanks, Ethan. Well, there you go. We called it, even though now I got to update the website when I'm done. You going to help me update the website, buddy? Oh, look at this little guy. He was so jealous yesterday because Longo was on TV. So we'll put you on TV next week, okay, buddy? Okay. Oh, man, we've been streaming live with Louie here for 7 years. All right, everybody say goodbye. Say bye, everybody. Louie's so good. Let's put a hat on him. He wears hats really good. Let's give him the Lodging Solutions hat. There you go. We'll just keep him like this the whole day. And I'll advertise. I'm like a NASCAR guy. All my friends that support the page like Lodging Solutions. Look, that's how we'll do the whole show. I need an ABC hat. We got 2 ABC meet and greets coming up. I can't wait. Apollo Beach on the 16th on Tuesday, 5 to 7 p.m. And then we got one Thursday over in Cocoa Beach, 5 to 7 p.m. on the 18th, Tuesday and Thursday. Hopefully there's no storms. It might not be me camping anymore that brings the storm. It could be when we make an ABC announcement. Every time we have an ABC meet and greet, we have hurricanes. Heck yeah, Wendy Louie goes to all the NASCAR races. He's been to all of them. He's been to 18 races now. Danielle, there you go. We love ABC. Appreciate all their support. But we'll be announcing that soon. I'll be wearing my flower shirt. Hello, Brew crew. Good to see you guys over there chatting. Somebody says Louie got gummies. No, he's just chill all the time. So, well, I have a lot of stuff to show you. Let's talk weather in a nutshell. So, there's a lot of fear out there already. We saw the same thing with Aaron. Once these models start getting close, showing potential U.S. impacts. Most people watch me from the U.S. Now, obviously, people in the Caribbean watch me too. Virgin Islands, Barbados, all the Lesser Antilles. Listen, I talk it all, but I do know majority of our folks in the U.S., continental U.S. So yeah, you see a scary run, you know, you can't get worried. We're talking about something 10 days from now. 10 days from now, it's going to be somewhere around here. 10 days from now. We're talking about this one right here. We're not talking about this one. We're talking about that one right there. So 10 days from now, anything can change. See that front line? We keep getting these fronts. It's just hard to believe it can keep going west unless we don't get a front. We got one coming down at 10th and 11th. I'm going to talk about all that. But I'm just saying, there's a little anxiety forming. I can feel it a little bit more. Maybe it's because, you know, Aaron was pretty powerful and everybody knows we kind of dodged a big one there. And yes, I have noticed a little bit of west trend, just like we did with Aaron. West does not mean landfall. It just means it's a couple models are trending a little west. But I'm going to show you all the latest. But please don't be afraid. And if, you know, had a guy arguing with me today, I got a little, like, I think people confuse me with other people. Somebody said I was trending west on the Aaron. I'm like, I thought I was the opposite. I tried hard to let everybody know I didn't think Aaron was going to go west. So this is current satellite. But what is amazing to me is this front. My gosh, it's crazy. We've had a front now, I think, for like 8 weeks in a row, just lingering across the south. This one made it down. You can feel it out there. Hey, by the way, I started walking. You might know it. Every day. We'll start day one. And it was cool out there. It felt pretty nice. Just because I want to. So I'm going to keep everybody up to date on that. So there we go. Frontal line's crazy. Look at this lightning out there. Man, I just can't believe it. So I was on Fox yesterday with Longo. Did you see that? I've been on CNN too, so don't start the comments. That will get you banned because I have no tolerance for that anymore. I love all people and all sides and been on all TV channels. So this is a great opportunity for Mike's Twitter page to be on national, international TV once a week now. But Longo wasn't too excited. He was yawning. And you all see him yawn every time we show him. But that was yesterday. Hopefully you got to see it. It's pretty cool. Here's that front line this morning. I just want to share a couple things I posted this morning. That's where the front line is. We got a big old L over Fort Lauderdale, Miami. That was current radar this morning. There's more juice out there, so it's going to be flowing. Here's your current radar. Just to kind of give everybody a heads up. It's not very nice down in the Keys because that front's lingering. It's going to linger for a couple days. Here's a rainfall for the next 7 days. You can see where all the rain's hanging out. We got some rain coming up from the Pacific. Is this not crazy? Listen. As we near peak hurricane season, the only states that are affected by tropics are Hawaii, Arizona, and a little bit in New Mexico, California, maybe. Everybody's worried about the tropics. Guess what? Guess who should be watching tropics? Hawaii. They got a possible hurricane coming. Yes, and it's very rare to have a, you know, it's like Bermuda. It's just a little dot in the big old ocean. And Hawaii does not get a lot of tropics. Usually, it's cooler water. They steer away. They got a hurricane coming Monday, Tuesday next week. Hawaii, of all places. So I want to show you that. Richard, hey, I'm glad you're watching, buddy. Oh, cool. Thank you. Is it Neek? Appreciate that. I posted the ensembles earlier. About the same, but majority of them are showing a curve. Okeechobee's feeling the coolness down there. Crazy farm lady. I feel it. Hey, yeah, it was crazy. I went to see Dad yesterday. I rolled the windows down and put the what do they call it? A T-top? Moonroof? What do they call those now? Moonroof? I don't know. It was 86 and it actually felt cool out. How can it feel 86 and cool? Because we didn't have humidity. So only a Floridian will agree with me, right? Chime in, Florida. 86 feels cool. And everybody north of us. Spaghetti models will be out. So here's the deal with Invest, Fuzzy Waffle. I love the names of YouTube sometimes. I don't know if Texas is going to get rain from this, but there is heavy rain coming. You can see the 7-day rain map here. No spaghetti models out. So here's what happens with an Invest. They designate it, and it takes a good 6-8 hours before we get actual real spaghetti models. So we'll have the Taft models and historical models come out first, but the real models don't really come for a while. So give it some time, right? Give it some time. All right, here's the two systems, and we're going to go straight into Invest 91 apparently now. This is Lorena, no relation to Bobbit. That was a crazy story growing up, right? That's right, humidity. What is that, BK? What is that? All right, so this is the two systems that are affecting not the Gulf or Atlantic, but Lorena is going to bring rains to Phoenix. A lot of flooding out there. That ground is hard. So there's your flooding the next few days. And then, of course, Hawaii is pretty serious, I would think, because the models are pretty darn close. Spaghetti models here, these are all in tropical tidbits. I mean, Hawaii is like smack dab in the middle of that cone. And these are your latest Haas models. Haas A, Haas B. Haas A a little to the north, Haas B to the south. But the thing is it's still showing 980 pressure on approach. That's a decent little hurricane. So, yeah, man, I mean, that's crazy. That's next week. You can start feeling the impacts probably as soon as maybe Monday. It's some of the outer bands next Monday, just a few days. Yeah, so there you go. I got the website updated. If you know anybody in Hawaii that needs updated spaghetti models and National Hurricane Center data, I got it on the website right here. There's Kiko. Is that how you pronounce it? Kiko. So it's got everything on there you need. All right. So we did Kiko. That's what we're going to talk about now. Invest 91. What category? It's going to be a major. So there you go. All right. This is the new graphic. This is on WeatherWise, by the way. I love WeatherWise app. Everybody should download it. I don't know who owns it. He talks to me a lot. Or her. It could be her. Heck, I don't know. That was very an assumption, but me. Could be a her. Could be a he. I don't know. But WeatherWise is great, and they've added tropical stuff on there now. So this is off their site. So we do have some convection. It's 80%. Tropical update this morning from the National Hurricane Center, basically saying the same thing. The environmental conditions are conductive. It's embedded in the ITC-Z line right now. I'm going to show you. This little guy in front of it's interesting, but there's no spinach. We have spinach on this one. We don't have spinach on the first one. I'm going to talk about the models, too. I'm telling you, AI has showed me no hope of using them. This whole last 4 or 5 days, AI has said this wasn't going to exist. And the AI was wrong on Lorena, too. I thought I had that graphic up here, by the way. Let me see. Right here. Then I'll close it. Talking about the AI models, the AI ensembles did terrible with Aaron, and AI operational runs are not even showing Invest 91 developing. Maybe they're right. Not wishing for a storm, just saying the AI models have been terrible. AI last night, Google had Lorena going west in the official NHC track. So, big failure. Everybody's bragging about the Google AI. Guess what? It's not as great as it was for other storms. So, all right, let me close out some windows here. So again, while I have this one up, this blob out in front is not what we're watching. We're watching the blob behind it. Here is the wind maps, which is fascinating. You know I love these wind maps. So there's our Bermuda High. There's our flow. There's our frontal lines that have been ruling the season. But right here is our little circle, and you can see it. pretty darn good. That's your intertropics convergence zone, and that's where the winds from the south meet the winds from the north. They start popping some pressure, and there you go. That's kind of where we're at. A little bit of 700 millibar spin. So the one out in front's interesting, but doesn't show any signs of spin. It's more, look at these winds. See these winds? Kind of doing that. So it's more of a wave. It's just getting pushed along. Now that could be, maybe something down the road if it gets into that Caribbean, which we've been seeing a lot of models showing. So that might be what we're watching down the road, because these winds drive basically all the way to the Pacific, and when you have a weak system, they basically just do that. They follow that. So we sometimes get leftover waves here, and then we have a little trouble. So let's hope not. That's not a spot we want to watch. But here you go. This is where it's at. It's Invest 91 now, apparently. You can see the lower level spin, and it's basically southwest of the islands there, right there. That's where it's at. So it's kind of neat to see. Sometimes you can get lucky on the ASCAP models. I'm not going to do that right now because everybody's probably getting tired of the, let's get to the nitty gritty. That's Don got a koozie and a radio. Yay. All right, so we have to look back at Aaron. Aaron had a lot of hype because we had some operational model runs so when I say operational model runs, those are the runs that come out every 6 hours. We have 6Z, 12Z, 18Z, 00Z. Operational runs are different from ensembles because ensembles are usually, in the past, you take the average of your ensembles, and usually somewhere in that middle is where the operational run would go. Usually in the past. We could see the latest ensembles now, and you could almost predict what the next operational run was going to be, because it would almost blend the 51 members of the Euro, and it would blend the 31 members of the GFS. This year, for whatever reason, the operational runs have been far to the west, while the ensembles have been staying to the north. And that happened with Aaron, okay? One time Aaron was supposed to hit the Euro this far out was showing Aaron hitting the Yucatan. It had Aaron in the Gulf. It had Aaron hitting Florida. The GFS kept up with that Florida, and it got a lot of buzz. Guess what? Yesterday, 12Z GFS hitting the southeast. I guess the 6Z did it again. The Euro kind of almost did it overnight. So, man, it's just so far away. We can't get wrapped up in these operational runs, including myself. It's so easy to get wrapped up in single operational model runs, including me. Your heart rate goes up a little bit. I will admit, when I got out of bed this morning, 5:30 a.m., I click on Old Tropical Tidbits and ran the OZ, and I'm like, oh, it's not turning. Yesterday's 12Z kept it weak west. So, yes, I am noting the west motion has my genuine curiosity, okay? But I have to go back to this and remember the majority of the ensembles are saying curve. So, Caribbean, 100%, you need to be watching this, okay? It's going to be close. That would be less than a week. And I'll show you all the latest. And we got the little question marks. We're going to get into that too. We've been talking a lot about that Caribbean Gulf. Still ensembles showing that possibility. This would be 15-day ensembles. We already know that they highlighted the increased risk coming. I've talked about all the reasons why. We're not going to do that today unless we have time. But that's the latest ensembles from overnight. All right. So, yeah, we're going to show the operational runs. But, man, I don't know. The fact that GFS and Euro are both kind of hitting more west has definitely got me curiosity pegged. And it's all because of one thing. It's that high pressure building in. I'm not like, I used to just be a model reader. Now I understand a little bit. I fake it a lot. Somebody out there just heard me say that, and they're running over to TikTok now and said, he just admitted that he fakes it. Irma. So I was going to bring that up. So, September's tricky, You don't know how fast the high pressure is going to build back in. Florence was a September storm. It went up, went down, went up, went down. Irma came across. Dorian. These are all September storms of recent memory, okay? So there's no guarantee that it can turn. The high pressure usually builds pretty strong this time of year. This is about the strongest it is this time of year. So that's why it's tricky. All right, there's that. I wanted to point out, I already showed you that. That was out of order. Bad mic. All right, this was overnight. So, did I post this today? Yeah. Okay, so here's the latest European ensembles. These are, this would be 913 where the end line would be. These up here are just leftover frontal line stuff. What we're focusing on is this. And of course, yeah, there's another way behind. It looks a little interesting too. But one at a time. This would be 10 days from now. 240 hours. See that? 240 hours. So, that's where it'd be. Whatever it is. Okay? I always draw the shark fanning. Farther out in time you go, the more fanning you get. Remember I was talking about this area here. That little wave that we're out in front of this thing might end up over here somewhere. Definitely watching that down the road. But one storm at a time. So the Euro operational run 917, I'm going to show it. It almost went to Florida. But when you look at the long range ensembles, majority of them don't do that. Most of them, are consistently doing that. So what's tricky is you get an outlier and then you get the main, and that's exactly what happened with Aaron. Yesterday's 12Z GFS had a storm hitting. Notice the reds. This is the 500 millibar, and the high pressure sealed off, had nowhere to go, and it went right into the southeast U.S. But at the same time, the majority of its own ensembles were curving. So that's why you just kind of like watch, but don't worry at this point. I'm glued to the tropics like always. And I try to stay as neutral as possible and spread a little thinking. And I just, you got to look at the pattern that we're in this year with cold fronts. Saw it with Ian that year. We talked about it with Ian. Anything that was going to form down here would be possible trouble for the southeast, and it was because the fronts were the story. If we keep getting cold fronts, then there's no way this is going to make it to the U.S. That's just the bottom line. So, but it's so far away. So far. Anyway. So. Yeah. Hope we made it clear. No. Tabletop Greek. I love you, man. Or girl. Are you, again, I assume. I don't know. I see geek and I think Greek because my best friend in my wedding was, he's from Greece, John Mookie. Mookie, you watching? I always see Greek. I probably said it before, too. What's up, James? So there you go. So, let's look at all the models. Man, I tell you, my best traction anymore is everybody else shares the scary stuff and then they come to the page. Okay, you're a dude. Commissioner, thank you, sir. Yeah, and listen, if I start to feel a shift, the quicker this thing develops too, by the way, the more chances of it turning, first off, okay? It's got some pretty healthy convection this morning. So the quicker this thing breaks off from that ITC Z line, the better chances it's going to be on curving. So there you go. And the Euro AI, I tell you, I cannot believe how terrible the Euro AI is this year. If we get a system, then the Euro AI was terrible. Google AI, weird too. And forget the ensembles. I don't even show them until they prove good. You notice our trend every year. We kind of like by this time in the season we start to know the models to trust. Icon, nah. Canadian, pretty good. UK, pretty good. Euro, always good. GFS ensembles are really good. Main operation, no. So I don't know why I'm showing main operation ones. You know, Tropical Tidbits here has a great ensemble section too, by the way. If you click ensemble, go to EPS, that's Euro. Go over here to lower dynamics and click ensemble member mean level, sea level surface pressure. You can kind of get a sense of where it's thinking. I know it gets a little cluttered there at the end, but you can kind of get an idea where the cluster is. And it's kind of neat too, because it shows you the colors start to blend together and you start to get more consistency on things. But the main runs, let's show you the latest Euro shown, because we have a lot of folks in the Caribbean. And this is going to be tricky because it's close. This is next Tuesday, going into Wednesday. So that's the 6Z Euro. So yeah, I definitely want to stress that the Caribbean should be watching this. The Euro usually isn't wrong this short of time frame out, so we'll keep. And now that's an invest too, we're going to get a lot of great data. We're going to get the H-Wharf, the Haas models. We'll get a lot more modeling with it. But that's pretty darn. That's a good little hurricane, 969. I will not lie, and that would be next Wednesday, going into Thursday. Starts to lift. There's Puerto Rico there. Slows it down a little bit. This is next. It's so far away. God, it's too. We're going to be doing this for 10 days. This is almost 10 days from now. This is smack dab over the islands there. Saturday the 13th. And this is what the Euro showed. This only goes out 300 some hours. But that's pretty darn scary if that was to happen. Starts to turn a little bit, but we got a lot of folks watching in the Turks and Caicos, Bahamas. So, again, that's one run. The only reason I'm kind of pegged interest-wise is yesterday's 12Z showed a weak system with the same general track. And remember I said before, the Euro reads upper air patterns pretty darn good. And this was yesterday's 12Z. It fizzles it out, maybe a lot of land interaction over Hispaniola maybe. But it merges with that front. See, there's a front coming. So 5 million people want to know the question about cruising. I know that. But if, the other question is Florida. When would it get here? Well, according to Euro, it would be the 15th. It would be close if that was correct. And then on the latest run, it'd be even later, like the 17th. So, just definitely watching. Okay, I hope we'll see. And then, like I said, the Euro AI, that's the last two runs. Let's look at the latest GFS run. Latest GFS is north of the islands. This would be next week, midweek next week. And it blocks. We get a blocking high. This is where things get tricky. I will admit. I mean, we get a blocking high in September. It can go more west, and that's what we need to watch. We always watch that. And there was the latest 6Z GFS. There's that new one coming in. That one might be the one to watch because it's run a little bit farther south. But anyway, that's a pretty strong little hurricane right there. Okay, so man, there's definitely a reason to share this kind of stuff because it's going to be close. 18Z 943, that's pressure. So there's been a lot of runs getting close. And if you've been following my page this year, this is the area that I've been more concerned about. And I've brought up Dorian and Gene and Francis, and these cold fronts tug our systems to the north, but then we get a high pressure that builds. So that's why we got to watch. Nobody should be afraid of anything right now, except I would definitely be raising my concern a little bit down in the Caribbean. For sure. This would be next Thursday. Pretty strong little system there. So, sorry I'm not reading comments. So we'll look at comments at the end. I need to keep rolling on task here. I'm not rude. I just like to keep talking. Latest year icon. I don't even want. I'm not even going to show it. There's latest icon. Next Thursday, 9:58. So, but I do this show the Canadian. I think it's done really good the last couple of years. I hear a cardinal out there. Hello, little cardinal. Here's the Canadian next Thursday, 9:88, just north of the islands, and it starts to curve. That just makes the most sense at this point in the game because of upper level steering. And actually, we could look at that. So let's look at a couple things I do to make sure that I'm not sold on this U.S. I don't even know what to say. Threat? I don't like that word. All right. So we just generally can look at 500 millibar on the euro. And what it's showing here is basically not a face. It looks like a little dog. Basically, that high pressure builds in. Okay, so we got a front here, the 7th and 8th, which is obviously, we talk about the front a lot. There's a front coming down. You can see it on the long range surface charts. This is the frontal line on the 7th here on the top left, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So according to this surface charts, the front's going to be lingering. Now, go back to the 11th. On the euro, it shows this on the 8th. This is upper level winds. That's a break. But whatever's down here brewing has got a high pressure to the north, meaning that there's really, no way it can do that in the short term, according to the latest blend of euro ensembles. But, we do have a gap. This is on the 12th. So I don't know why the main operational isn't curving this thing, because it's a pretty decent little gap on the euro ensembles. Usually it finds this and goes that way. So there is another front coming. There's a strong signature of a front on the 12th and 13th, and at the same token, well, that's the euro. So man, I don't know. That's a pretty big gap. So again. Those operational runs did the same exact thing with Aaron. When we go back to the latest run here on the euro, this is the 17th, 15th. Slows it down a lot. So it basically misses the gap. That's why the operational went west, is because but eventually it feels that weakness. So yeah, I don't know. At this time, you just look at the upper level wind patterns, and you start looking around that same time frame, and you see a gap. You go to the GFS, you see a little, there's a gap on the 13th, and strong systems will accelerate and find this weakness and go around this gap. This is the GFS on the 12th. So, confused yet? A-Bear box. Interesting. I think Aaron went through the A-Bear box, but it didn't materialize or anything. What's up, Bobby? So there's that. Ensembles are our friends. Let's take a look at a couple other things. So we can go to Weather Nerds. Let me show you that if you want to look at some other ways to look at the ensembles. Here is the latest 12Z ensembles. And we go in time. We're going to start looking over here too, but not too concerned over there yet. All right. So here's the latest Euro. This is your timing would be next Wednesday. Well, this is Tuesday night, actually. So next Tuesday night, it could be near in Caribbean. Tuesday next week. Whatever it is, there's some going low, some going high. Remember, there's 51 members of the Euro. And if you just kind of look at the thought process here, we're starting to see a turn. These only go out 10 days. All right. So the no breaking news on any of this stuff, by the way. It's all kind of what we do. GFS, let's take a look at that. Here you go. Timing would be next Tuesday morning right here somewhere. And a lot of them start to fan out. See, a lot of them. And we are getting some down here. Telling you, we learn a lot together on the Daily Brew. And that little blob that's out ahead of this system now could be what these models are picking up on here. Just saying. Just saying. Let's take a look at longer than 10 days out. These are 15-day ensembles. Whoops, not that one. This one. So there's 10 days out. This is kind of clean. You can kind of see it a little better right here. This is 10 days out. Stronger system likely turns 10 days out. That's where it would be in 10 days. And we spread out 11 days. And then we, you know. So we go out 15 days on the, this is where it's confusing by that operation run. So you go out 15 days basically. Right? There are a couple outliers. I will admit it. Oh, I got it, Bobby. Yeah, we got that in the very start. Somebody let me know that. Thank you. And we'll start having spaghetti models. The first run of the invest, I don't like to share the first run of the invest until we get the actual all the runs in. So the first run of Invest 91 will be more afternoon. So, you know, again, yes, the Euro 00Z is very interesting, right? But until we start to see an ensemble switch, I'm not going to raise a concern. That's the way I work. That's the way I've learned. It's not very healthy to put something out there when the majority of data is saying it's an outlier. But notice these little turns. This is what I wanted to bring up. These little turns after 10 days. We're starting to see a couple of them do that. And that would be the sign of maybe these highs connect the dots. Only a couple of them. But, you know, that's the trend that I'm looking for on this Euro. It's, do we start to see the high pressure connect? And yes, we got some stuff down here on the Euro that's interesting. And this is all timing with the MJO, which we talk about a lot. It's going to be popping about middle month. That enhances storm activity big time. And these waters are about the second hottest they've been in the last 15 years in the Gulf and Caribbean there. So anyway, that's it. On that, you know, the GFS ensembles, which did very good with Aaron. Also, that's why I'm sticking with those two. You know, again, I know there's Google ensembles out there, and I know there's Euro AI out there, but I just, you know, the Euro AI now is curving. It's got a few forming in the Gulf. And I will look at comments a little better at the end, I promise. 10 days out on the GFS, you can start to see a general northwest motion here. Not even really developing it. These are your 6Z. Let's do 00Z. They're a little better. This is 10 days out. Definitely. That blob, I'm telling you, that blob that's out in front, I'm going to call it. I'm going to post it. What y'all talking about on the talk? So that's 10 days out. We go 11 days out, 12 days out on the GFS. and a lot of them curves. So let's just, yeah, I mean, I'm not concerned yet, but yeah, for anybody except the Caribbean needs to be watching close. So far, the trend is your friend with a little bit to your north, but there are some, of course, keeping it down in there. That would be less than a week, probably. But I'm definitely curious about this little Caribbean spot. I'm telling you. Not a lot of support, but enough. Might need to go change the oil in the storm chaser. Some of these ensembles, let's say worst case scenario, we get something like this. This would be the 12th. This is less than 10 days from now. We haven't seen a sneaky system yet in a while, right, Bobby? Those are your GFS. Let's go back to the Euro worst case scenario on those Caribbean little lines. We could start to see something mingling maybe 9 days from now. Euro's only got 1 or 2, but then it does something in the BOC. Yeah. All right. One more model I want to look at. I want to see if the blended model has increased color at all. I kind of look here for more than anything when we start getting the developing system. About the same as yesterday. This is tropical storm chances. This is tropical depression chances in 10 days. I know there's a lot to look at right there. But your Euro blend is showing hurricane likely. This is future Invest 91, getting close to the islands. But then the blend is showing a general curve. I mean, there's like almost no Euro support at Invest 91, makes it very far west. So I hope some of that made sense. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what the heck I even say. I ramble on. Yeah, Bobby, here, hey Garrett, good morning. Chat, what's the next name? There you go. Shelly's good with the names. She already answered you. Shelly's good with this stuff. Thanks, buddy Steve. Have a good day. I'm trying to catch up on some comments. So, Red Man, what's up with a storm? Invest 91. I do want to show some water temperature. Florida safe. Well, everybody's safe. We don't know that. Nobody knows that, Jasmine. I know that's a good question, probably. It's just too far to know. I know that's a lame answer. Everybody wants to know. Hey, Krista, good comment. Why do stronger storms go north? It's crazy. The biggest word in my vocabulary is called Coriolis effect. It's because the equator is bigger on the belly, like me. And the North Pole, it naturally wants to spin. It comes off that equator, and storms have a natural poleward pull back. And it's physics. The dirty side of the storm, that's great. Stephanie, great question. Always the concern, late September, Central American gyre, always a concern. Dirty side of the storm is always the counterclockwise flow of a storm. If you want to mess around with my page, I got some awesome links here called Past Radar Loops. Brian McNulty has them. And they're amazing. I don't want to bring up bad memories. But for example, the dirty side of Milton here. The dirty side is usually the north. I wish I could stop these. How can I screenshot and stop? Oh, you know what? I think he's got... Oh, man, it got bigger. MP4, I can stop. Let's do that one. All right, so let's make it bigger. Let me stop it. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. So on a storm's approach, boom, like that, you have a lot of counterclockwise flow off of the water. And the dirty side is usually the northeast quadrant. That would be this side right here. Usually, because you get the pounding bands and the water push. You don't have surge on this side because the winds are blowing that direction. Everything builds out ahead of a storm, and that becomes the dirty side. So usually the west side, left side of a storm isn't as bad as the right side, east side of a storm. That makes sense? Sometimes you get some bad stuff a little bit away from the center, but most of the time the worst weather is east and right of a storm. So yeah, I started walking. Everybody's proud of me. So dirty side. That's Francine. What remind me what Francine? What the heck? This year, Francine? When was Francine? I have no idea. I kind of forget names after a while. Danielle, they always spin. Lets you go below the equator, they spin the other way. But yeah, above the equator, north is counterclockwise. Low pressure. No, the icon is its own. Icon is its own model. It's a German model, Germany. Daddy Shark, I believe the CAG is always a concern. Longo, Ty, I don't know. Longo! He was a little fidgety this morning, so I had Louie on my lap. All right, well, listen, a couple things I want to point out since I got everybody's attention. We talk about our cruise. Join our cruise. Shelly will put the link out there, and I do want to do a shout out to my good buddies from Tiger Dam. Somebody just tagged me in a picture. They bought one. Paul here does a lot with the state here in Florida. They do a lot of those big dams that you see all over the place. We have Longo? Oh, we got Longo. Yeah, so big for our state.
He's farting a lot.
He's farting a lot. Okay, well, you guys wouldn't know that on there. But incredible technology that they employ across the whole state, protecting hospitals and seawalls, but they also make a really nice home unit. People ask me all the time as an alternative to plywood and sandbags mainly. Who wants to mess around with sandbags? So there you go. Just a little selfish shout out to my good friends there. I did a video. You want to see it? It's kind of fun. I showed there's a video of me how to put it together. I was down at the Governor's Hurricane Conference, and he gave me one, and he showed me how to use it. So we have one too for our back porch. If you have that doorway that you're worried about, ours is the back porch because the pool fills up so fast. Sometimes that water comes back towards the house. One year I put towels down there, and once the towels got wet, guess what? The water ended up still coming in the house. So everybody's got that one door they need to protect, and that's a good thing. But we want to talk about McNulty real quick. So here's that hot. I meant to, Bobby. Look at this. This is. I hate adjectives. I don't want to use adjectives, but this is not concerning to me. God, I don't want to be that guy, but it is. This is concerning. So this tracks the ocean heat content. This is the water below the surface and how much fuel, basically. They measure it in words I don't even understand. But the hotter that water is below the surface is the amount of water. Storms naturally pull water up. That's why Aaron left a big cool track. Aaron, believe it or not, did not have a lot of ocean heat content. Aaron formed over 82 degrees water. And it did not have a lot of OHC underneath it. The Gulf is on pace to be more than last year on ocean heat content. Now, that's not a scare tactic. This is reality. I mean, the blue line is 2013 to 2024 average for the ocean heat content. And you can tell we're way above it. Almost where we were. We are a little bit above where we were at this time, 2024. And I think that might be a storm that we probably had to use it up a little bit. But that is untapped energy you know? So just remember that. The season's not over yet at all. Here's our cruise. We'll say goodbye. Join our cruise. It's our 5th annual. It's so much fun. The thing that frustrates me about my cruise is that we do 50 cabins. So we end up with like 100 people on the ship. I swear people will back me up. 500 people come up to me that didn't know about our cruise. And they're like, I wish we would have known, because we do a lot of fun stuff as a group on our cruise. This year we're stopping at Key West, and we're going to have our own little trolley that we're going to go bar hopping in. The MWP trolley. But all the information's right there if you want to join it. So it's fun. And the prices are for 2 people. Drew Garabo asked me that one time, did I ever consider getting a degree? No, not at my age anymore. I'm still working on trying to read and learn, and I get confused easily. I got a degree in business marketing. Some people said it would, validate, and I'm sure. Biggest complaint I get, the ones that don't know me is, well, he's not real. And I agree. I get it. If that piece of paper makes you feel comfortable on who you get your information from, that's great. I would challenge, there's a lot of folks out there that, never mind. 12-foot skeleton time. Hell yeah. I hope mine's up there. My biggest fear is one day if I go up the attic and he's missing. Oh, there's a house. Hey, who lives in Pinellas County? There's a bridge. I don't remember what bridge it was. I think it's the one that goes towards Madeira. I think it's Park, maybe. I don't know. But there's a skeleton on somebody's house. Somebody's seen it. And it's somebody's got a skeleton on the house in the Intracoastal Waterway. It's funny. I looked over there. So, yep, I got Susan, I don't know if there's anybody does, but I do have the website. Somebody asked about the Kiko. I do have the website totally updated. Everything you need. Tropical Tidbits has a great page. There you go. So cool. Well, I appreciate you coming. I hope you got something out of it. I think it could definitely rapidly intensify, Fred. That seems to be the story anymore. It looked pretty healthy this morning. What's really got my attention more than anything, and please, this is not hype, but I do believe this little blob of convection might end up being what we watch down the road when this slows down a little bit. Maybe. There's really no operational runs that show development yet, but there are ensembles that show it developing. And I'll dive into that. I'm not going to talk about a storm yet until we... This is an interesting little feature, a little upper level low right here, mid-level low. See it spinning? It's got convection. Anyway. Cool. Well, we'll be live tomorrow. Thank you, Ty. Got to update the website. So I will update the website. I do have a website, Mike's webpage. Have an app. You got to pay for the app's free. The website part's free. You can access, but I do have to charge because they charge me a tremendous amount of money. I never thought owning an app would cost so much. So it's a little bit, $1.99 a month. So there you go. All right. So we'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to be posting all day. There's really nothing to worry about unless you're in the Caribbean. Definitely want to be watching this close. Cool. See you on Friday. Cheers. Football tonight. Varsity Club. That's where we hang out. Been trying to cut back on the beer, so I'm going to leave football Thursday night, Monday night for that. And I have my driver, Julie, with me. All these comments that you guys post thinking I'm driving, don't assume. I challenged the lady on TikTok. I'm like, she was lying about me. I'm like, prove it. I'll send you $100 right now. Don't make lies about me. I don't care if you don't like me and the page, but don't spread lies. Lies. Like Morgan Wallen, right? Lies. All right, cool. Nothing else I want to show you, so we'll see you tomorrow.